the other thing that I think we began to see over the course of the campaign, and I think it was because opposition sides, you said before about Ipswich, had a bit of a plan here for Gravenberch. I think there's a point, I'd argue it's possibly around February, we go to Goodison, I think, and Moyes has a really clear how to make sure Liverpool can't get the ball into Gravenberch plan. But the flip side of that is what we started to see, I think, as the season wore on, was a little bit more of this, where you'd end up with Gravenberch coming here and almost at times saying, well, because if you're going to build your little box around me, you've got to come all the way. And then we'll come back into this. And opposition sides obviously don't want to do that. You don't want to be all the way over here. But then suddenly, if it is a 4-4-2, or even if someone comes and joins, well, we've got questions to answer here as to how Liverpool are going to move the ball. And I think this is especially potent with the Frimpong, Bradley double act that we're going to see at right back. That if you do start to do this, without it ever being a classic back three, back five, where you line them up on the 5 defenders, all of a sudden you can have one of them there. Or, as we saw a lot last season, Salah is here, and then suddenly that player is coming all the way into this inside space here, with momentum, with or without the ball, which could be absolutely terrifying for the opposition. We've seen Bradley's quality in that area a lot.
Yeah, Brighton away is a great example. If we put Liverpool in the nominal, I'm not going to say the formation because I don't want to get shouted at by Arne. So we'll put Liverpool in the shape. Now, what was interesting against Brighton, because I'm quite geeky and got nothing better to do, I've watched the first half of this game back before and bored you with WhatsApps on it. And Brighton are quite passive initially.
Yeah.
So Liverpool just
It's a very interesting match.
Yeah, Liverpool stay in the shape, they can move the ball around, Gravenberch's able to drop in, and it's only when the ball's in midfield that Brighton seem to lock on and really press. The minute it goes 1-0, in terms of Liverpool's build-up, Liverpool have a problem in that Brighton just go full-on, really aggressive press, and they're willing to be 2v3 in midfield. And on the basis that a centre-back will step out onto Szoboszlai, a centre-back will step out into these zones, and they're so aggressive, even at times departing and shutting down Alisson and then going, we're going to play in between the two players. So we'll actually, people always think in terms of a man-v-man system that you have to be behind. You'll see a lot of midfielders go, well, I'm man-to-man in front.
Yeah.
I'll screen that player and I can jump that player, whereas if I'm here, I can only influence the player.
Bournemouth are brilliant at that.
Yeah, in between spaces. What Liverpool then do, and I think this was very much a plan B, but it's interesting that this happened to Brighton towards the end of the season. I find that really interesting that it's then that Gravenberch comes in. And it'd be love to know, is that from the bench that they've gone, right, okay, we've seen 5 or 10 minutes of Brighton doing this, it's causing us a problem, we need to do this. Or it's whether the players have gone, listen, if we do this, do you really want to come all the way? And if so, that's fine. And even if you want to chase Alisson down, we've just got that much of an advantage up the pitch. We're willing to go with that. And then in relation to the fullbacks, and again, you see this at Brighton, because nominally the wingers are staying so high and wide and occupying the opposition fullbacks. I don't think it has to be the fullbacks. I think it can be McAllister and Szoboszlai. But I think the key thing with Arne Slot, if you ignore the positions, I think he wants 5.
Yeah.
I think he wants your 3 nominally, and I think he wants runners in here. And I think, depending on the structure and the way that the move builds up, I think what they're trying to educate the Liverpool players on to a large degree is if Bradley's here, then Szoboszlai needs to be making that run, a la, let's say, Tottenham at home. If in build-up, Bradley's here and it comes into Salah's feet and Bradley can do it, then Szoboszlai might be backing up. And I think that's why you could find clips from the season to make anything you want to say. You could say, oh, it's always McAllister making that run. I could give you 5 clips of McAllister making that run. But then I could show you Brentford away, where in the build-up to Nunes' goal, Robertson makes the inside run, if you want to call it that, or underlapping. But then on the other hand, you then see Trent coming through for the setup for that goal. So I don't think that necessarily is going to change, because I think that's very effective, and I think Arne Slot's going, unless the opposition midfielders are really, really switched on. At best, we're 5v4, got an overload. At worst, we're 5v5, but we're causing panic.
Last thing on it, Sean, I think it's interesting, for instance, City end the season with O'Reilly and Nunes of fullback positions when, 2 seasons ago or 3 seasons ago, they win a treble with 4 centre-backs. Now, it helps that one of them is John Stones and one of them is Nathan Ake, because they're exceptional footballers who can do a lot in certain areas. But with that idea of either a narrow or even coming and stepping in front there and being able to sort of support the midfield, circulate the ball, pull the opposition out of shape. But football, you know, the quality of the analysis and the analysts themselves now, everyone gets wise to things. And I think it's interesting, Liverpool, you know, they're going to miss part of, we saw it last season, you know, a couple of times, players who weren't Trent Alexander-Arnold tried to play the big switch. And you saw that, yes, occasionally they do hit it, but they don't hit it anywhere near as often unless you're also Virgil van Dijk. You know, you can see that can go awry. Liverpool, to me, I think it is a real commitment to players bursting either into this area or this area, with or without the ball, as you said before. As I say, I don't even think it's just even getting set and having a little underlap. I think it's almost coming a long way, because if you beat, if sides want to go very direct and you beat the first one, you should have a fair bit of space to open up into. My point, though, is it went on a journey last season. It wouldn't surprise me if it ends up going on a bit of a journey this season. City went on a journey last season without using the fullbacks. I think how you use those fullbacks, I think we've talked about what the opposition do is changing game to game, and it's hard to anticipate. I think Slot wants the same level of being unpredictable going into the season as well. I hope you're enjoying this free show at the moment. Loads of excellent, exciting stuff on the Anfield app. If you want to be part of the whole thing, you can download the Anfield app and go from there. Or you can subscribe via the YouTube membership as well for video-only content and other bits and pieces. We love doing these shows. We love that you watch them. So come, be part of the journey with us.